Have you ever wondered what happened to pride in workmanship? We can remember a time when the terms pride, workmanship, pride, quality, pride, and ownership were associated with each other. The late Dr. W. Edwards Deming, who was the grandfather of statistical analysis and arguably the founder of the total quality movement on a global basis, once said that the aim of management must be to improve the performance of man and machine and to bring a sense of pride, of workmanship to employees. I've come to realize that where pride really has its source and its fountainhead is in a sense of ownership. This occurred to me several years ago when I landed in St. Louis Airport, had some time between flights, went down to the arrivals level, and I walked into a shoe shine shop. I was singularly impressed with the 8x10 glossies of celebrities that papered the walls, the newspaper magazine articles, and the business cards from people globally that were on the wall with stick pins. I climbed up into the chair, and this gentleman proceeded to give me one of the best shoe shines I've ever received. And all the time he was shining my shoes, he was singing, he was dancing, he was singing and dancing. As he opened one drawer after another, I saw bottles and jars of creams and gels and polish. And he had this little clear liquid in a plain bottle that he applied for the finishing touch. I asked him what was in it. He smiled, but he wouldn't tell me. It was his own concoction that he'd come up with. He did share with me that he first started shining shoes as a kid when his grandpappy in Alabama taught him how to do it, and later when he was in the Army, he polished the art. And when he finished shining my shoes, he snapped that silk rag and tapped the back of my shoes and stepped back with a smile on his face. And I looked down and could see my mirror image reflecting. And I thought about what is it that this man brings to his profession in shining shoes that makes it so different. Chances are that none of us, when we cradled our newborns and held them up in our arms, said, "Dear God, please let my child grow up to become a shoe shiner." I am by no means disparaging the profession. I am simply suggesting it is not what any of us might consider the noblest ambition for our children. But this man brought phenomenal sense of pride to his work. Where does that pride reside? I submit to you that the pride comes in ownership, but ownership of two specific things. Number one, ownership of purpose. Is he in the shoe shine business? Not really. What he does is he creates an oasis in the desert of business travel. There pass through St. Louis Airport any given day, teeming tens of thousands of hurried, harried, hustled, hassled road warriors of the business world, and he's got a mission. He has a purpose. He's going to put a smile on your face, he's going to lighten your load, he's going to brighten your day. But he not only has ownership of his purpose, his mission, but he also has ownership of his process. His process is not one that's been handed down to him by management who said you need to follow these steps specifically, but it's a process that he has designed from start to finish. The key to bringing pride to workmanship is when management recognizes that employees have to achieve ownership. Ownership on two fronts. Ownership of the purpose. What business we're in. Why does this task matter? Where does it fit in the larger scheme of things? And secondly, ownership of process. Instead of being dictated a certain set of steps to follow, they're allowed to bring their creative energy, their thoughts, and their ideas to how they go about doing the what it is that they've been commissioned to do. Let's bring back pride of ownership. I'm Don Carmont.